Hello and welcome to Strictly Business. My name is Belinda Namtebi and we are here with yet another exciting discussion on business. We are going to be talking about the importance of oversight for your business. Today we are being hosted by Nina Interiors at their outlet in Luvoa. And Nina Interiors is dedicated to turning your dream spaces into reality. We have a special guest for you today. Grace Makoko is a career banker with over 25 years experience, and Grace sits on a number of boards. She sits on the DFCU board, Britam Insurance, and Med Optics. Can you imagine what an interesting discussion this is going to be? Join us as we meet Grace. Welcome, Grace.
Thank you, Belinda.
So what is the importance of oversight to our business?
I would say that oversight gives you a third eye or a sounding board. Okay. So having a board and they're fulfilling that function of oversight gives you someone to be accountable to, someone who is like an accountability partner to say you promised to do this. Where are we on that? It gives you a soundboard to your ideas. You're bouncing them off people, and hopefully the board is diverse enough. They're all not within your field. So they're bringing expertise, exposure, and experience from different fields. So they are soundboard to your ideas because they've been in situations where that worked or that didn't quite work or this other approach worked better. The company is viewed as being a company that is here for the long haul. So boards bring that oversight role comes with many facets, and businesses that embrace that route tend to perform better. So a good analogy would be people on a dance floor. When people are dancing, they don't see the whole picture, but people on a balcony above the dance floor see the dancers, see who is making the smooth moves, see who is making a mistake, see who is doing this and that better. So a board is sitting on the balcony. They're not part of the business. They're not part of the actual running. But the balcony gives them a view that will enhance what you're doing because they are able to see the picture better.
So Grace, I see that you are a career banker. You sit on the DFCU board, DFCU bank board. But then you're also on the Britam Insurance Board and Med Optics. One is insurance, the other is eye health. How do Med Optics and Britam benefit from your banking experience?
Banking really exposes you to very many different industries. But I'll just clarify that being on a board, you don't have to be an expert. Actually, the board members that benefit a business are those that are not in that line necessarily, because you then bring perspective, you bring experience, you bring breadth as opposed to depth. So the eye health, I'm able to use bits in my banking, bits even with exposure to the insurance, to then help the business person. So you really don't have to be an expert. What you need is breadth. There are a number of boards. There's technical boards, and then there's oversight boards, so supervisory boards. So boards actually, you can, and then if you have one board, you can have a mixture of board members who are experts, who will be your technical board, and others who are just supervisory. But having sat on a board or having been part of a business gives you experience and exposure that comes in handy. So think about risk management. Risks are in every business. They might be nuanced in terms of your own business having a specific, but risk is really at the end of risk. Reporting, regulatory oversight. So all those three businesses are dealing with URA. They are dealing with URSB. So as a person who has sat on those different boards, I know what one company maybe faced with URA and how they solved that, or how a company that had a challenge with URSB and then how they faced that. Challenges of employees. We are all hiring and working with people. So I will have an experience of, oh, this is how the other board handled it, or this is how the other business handled it. So what you need is really diversity on that board, and then just a commitment from board members for that oversight to hold management accountable and to be a sound board is what we are thinking the same, is what we are thinking right. I think that day I'm a customer, I'll probably be a customer for the eye health person, I'll be a customer for the insurer, I'll be a customer for the banker, I'll be the customer for. So you're sitting in a position of whether it's a customer or a regulator or someone who is giving advice or someone who has had an experience and how you bring a view on how to deal with that particular issue. Or sometimes just telling management you're doing a good job, because many of people in business, it's a thankless job. Customers are always complaining. Maybe you need a voice to say, actually, kudos for that. That was good. Yeah. So,
why would a business owner consider constituting a board in the midst of so many competing priorities?
Thanks, Belinda. That's actually a good question, because many small businesses think about the financial side, but many boards, people are doing the work pro bono. It's not necessarily that they are going to be paid or even paid commensurate to the time. So what I would say is that to look for people who have a heart for what you're doing and people who are willing to be honest with you. And it doesn't have to come down to, they don't have, if they can be volunteers, that's also, I know very many retirees who are willing, they have the time, they have the expertise, but they don't have, they feel they want to add to give back to society, but they just don't have an outlet. There are actually many. So you would get that kind of, through the network, through your social network, you would get people like that who are willing to come and sit on the board. And that kind of person, you give honorariums or just a token for their time. But many of them are actually willing to sit and give you advice or listen, to be a soundboard for free, pro bono. So I think that shouldn't hold you back. Just finding the right people and them understanding the reality of the company, they would be willing. Then there are the bigger companies can afford to quote unquote hire specialists to interview people and then get them on their boards. So yeah, business people shouldn't shy away because of a financial constraint. There are actually many people who are willing to come and sit. And these meetings are what, quarterly, every 2 months, sometimes monthly, but they are, as long as they are focused. I've not encountered a business that failed to find a board because of financial constraint.
I actually like the idea of pro bono boards, and I think it is something that a number of businesses, including Ondava, could benefit from. Don't you think so? So, you know, Grace, we've been sitting for too long on a special table that is available at Nina Interiors. I would like to invite Patricia Karugawa, who is the Managing Director of Nina Interiors, to tell us more about this table.
Hello, Belinda.
Hello, Patricia.
Hello, Grace. How are you?
By the way, Patricia, does Nina Interiors have a board?
Yes, Nina Interiors has a board. Even though we are family-owned and run business, we are very formal. So we have a board, and the board is made up of independent members, meaning that they don't work at Nina Interiors and they are not family members. Then we have non-executive members who are family, but they don't work with Nina Interiors. And then there's us executive members who are part of the day-to-day running of the board, and we sit on the board.
Okay, Patricia, tell us about this table. This
table is a new innovation that has come into play because people are now paying attention to their health. Professionals like you, lawyers, accountants, sit for way too long. And I'm sure you've heard that sitting is the new smoking. So ideally, you should not sit throughout your day. If you think about it, we sit for breakfast, you sit in the traffic to get to work, then you sit at your desk, you go for a meeting, you sit, then you sit at lunch, sit for another afternoon. You're sitting the whole day, and in the evening you sit to watch TV. So while you're at work, you're encouraged to move as well. Ideally, you should sit, you should stand, and you should move. Any opportunity you get to move, use it. Go to the bathroom, go and do the photocopy yourself instead of getting someone to do it. Go to the printer, just move a bit, and if you can take a break, walk around the block. But you should also stand. So the standard height of a desk, a table, is 750 millimeters, and that's what we've set this table at. So if you've been working and you're tired, you need to stand, you can raise it. Right now, I've set it. There we go. It's going up, going up, going up. I set it to 90 millimeters. You can work at this point, but depending on your height, depending on the height of the people that you're going to be with, you can adjust. You can either take it just a step, or to a preset height, say like a meter. There. So now what is important is you have to be comfortable. Is this a height at which you can work on your computer comfortably? Or is it too high or too low? What you don't want is to get to a point where you're doing like this, because then the posture is all wrong. We are defeating the purpose of your standing. It's very normal for people to want to lean like this. Put it to a height where you feel comfortable with your computer or your writing pad or whatever. Grace, is this a comfortable height? Can I take it up a notch higher, like that? Is that good? So instead of going one step, what you can do is you can set the height. We have memory position, so you can have it to a set height. So now that you're standing, you stand, and then if you want to sit, if someone came in and you wanted to have a discussion with them sitting, instead of going bit by bit, you just press to the sitting position, which we have saved as 1, and there we go. Make sure that there are no obstructions, that the chair armrests are not in the way, and there we are. We're down to a sitting height. Just one press and it's up, it's down. If you want it to go up, you've preset, you can just press, it will go up.
Okay, so I think we've been sitting for too long. We will opt for the standing position.
All right, enjoy your discussion.
Thank you, Patricia. So Grace, what does someone have to do to get on a board?
When we are in the workplace or doing anything we do, we need to realize that we are garnering experience and expertise. So when you're going to the office, you're there for more than a salary. You're there to get skills and to get better at what you do, because that is what people look for in board members. They're looking for skill, looking for expertise, they're looking for knowledge. So you find so many employees complaining about the boss, I hate my boss, I hate my boss, yet the company is giving them skills. Those are the skills that will work for you when you sit on a board. So get as much knowledge, as many skills, get expertise, get exposure, get breadth. When you get transferred from one branch to another or from one department to another, don't gripe, don't quarrel. That is all breadth, which will come in handy on a board. One of the things that I probably didn't touch on well, which I didn't touch on at all for a board, is board members open doors. So a board member who has networks opens doors. So you could just be a junior staff, but you've been dealing with the media or you've been dealing with suppliers and you know this, but when you sit on the board, you will need those connections. Even with your maybe school alumni, your professional body alumni, board members also bring connections. So all that, whatever you're doing in the where you're working. Get that, because that's what people are looking for when they want a board member. They want breadth. They might want depth, but they want a lot of breadth. And that you can get. There is no workplace, there is no shop, there is no kiosk, there is no job that someone does that doesn't add to them skills and knowledge, which will come in handy at the point when you're sitting on the board. So add value to yourself, you'll be picked for a board position.
And more than one board if you are good enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had an interesting discussion on the need for business oversight for our organizations. We want to thank you for joining us today. And from Strictly Business, it's bye for now.